Hey there, welcome to the Marketing Matters podcast. Safaricom has formalized its data prices. Starlink launches Starlink Mini. So, if you're here for the first time, this is the Marketing Matters podcast where we talk about marketing trends, strategy, technology, developments, and everything in between. I'm your host, Steven Atema, with my lovely co host.
Victoria.
Welcome. Safaricom has formalized its prices for the data for their data packages. Now, Vicky, I remember last week when I reached out to you asking you whether Safaricom was actually serious about the prices, because I had gone to their website trying to see about what some of those data packages were, and I remember seeing looking at the website and feeling, I could it be that the data prices, the information we were receiving online was outdated, or was inaccurate, or was it that Safaricom did not want to make it official? But this week or
Mm,
earlier last week, what they did is now
mhm.
they have even updated that website to, when you go to Safaricom to website to go and look at the data prices. Now you will see the new data prices reflected, and what they have also done is, apart from bumping some of those, 10 Mbps is now 15 Mbps, the 20 is now 40. They have introduced a new one, a new bigger one, which is like 1,000 Mbps, that is going for 20,000 shillings. So
Yeah.
this is news because it is also in line with what now Starlink has done by launching the Starlink Mini, which for those who don't know, for you to access Starlink, you need to have like a dish or a gadget that allows you to receive the satellite link. And the original Starlink, what is it called? Starlink kit used to go for 45,000 shillings. Now this new Starlink Mini will go for half that price, which is 20, around 25 to 27,000 shillings. But then the difference between the Starlink Mini and the original Starlink kit is that it allows lesser users, but by less is quite a small, a huge number. I think over 120 people can concurrently use that link, but it's specifically for residential. Yeah, I don't know, Vicky,
Yeah.
if you had any thoughts on this issue with Starlink and Safaricom.
Yeah, I think as I mentioned the other time, it's good that one of the advantages on the side of the consumer is Starlink has made Safaricom to give us more value for the price or the cost that we pay for the internet or the data that we get from them. So it's a plus on the consumer side. But again, what I like about Safaricom is, and even help, something that will help us even as businesses is they notice that there is a competitor coming, and they do not just sit and complain, but they decide to act on it to ensure that they still retain their customers or to ensure that they still satisfy their customers. So I think that is something that I've really learned from Safaricom, that they, as much as the Starlink is coming and they have noticed, they are not stopping. They are coming, and they are coming at a very fast speed. They came with the first time they had a very high cost, and they were not shaken. But right now they have realized, okay, these people are coming, and if we are not careful, we might lose even our customers. So by them just deciding to increase the speed for the sake of its customers, me as a customer would want to retain
Mm,
my subscription to them, because now I see they, as much as it costs the competitors to come for them to increase, but at least they are changing towards that. They are
mm.
trying to consider, okay, how can I retain this customer who's already existing, even if I don't get a new one, but the ones that are there, can they still find value in what you are providing, or will we just allow even the ones that we have to shift? So I think that is a very good thing from their end.
Yeah, even as you say that, I have a scoop about Safaricom. It is rumored that Starlink actually approached Safaricom last year or last year but one, trying to partner with them to set up this business in Kenya, but Safaricom refused.
Interesting.
So
Interesting.
yes, so Safaricom's executives, whoever is in charge, I'm sure they are getting an earful from their CEO. But it is rumored that these guys actually approached Safaricom, and Safaricom was like, you go do your own thing, we can do our own thing. But I
Yeah.
suspect the reason why Safaricom declined that offer was, first of all, they underestimated the impact of this technology. They thought they could partner with Huawei or any other existing partner, because Safaricom has other tech partners. But what people have come to realize is the reason Starlink has no competitors, and Elon Musk said this, is because that gadget has been built from ground up. They have not bought components and sold a satellite dish. It is something that you cannot replicate. So Safaricom, I believe, thought they had partnerships with their partnerships with Huawei would protect them from this. And then another thing is, I think they thought government was going to block Starlink given the shareholding in Safaricom. But since even the president has been very open and said he's encouraging competition against Safaricom, then they have realized, okay, the assurances we had might not be solid. So they're like, okay, they're
But
even talking about partnering with them now.
But even Steve, when you look at this country of ours that we truly love and appreciate, when you have an international company coming, sometimes they come and they are well accepted, and
Mm,
sometimes they might not be here to stay for long. Like it's a risky kind of
mm,
business, even as consumers, for us to put our hopes in the Starlink.
mm.
Sometimes the government can allow the international companies to come, and then along the way, you just hear, oh, there was something they did not comply. You're wondering,
Yes.
did they not comply from the word go, or is it right
Mm.
now that you have disagreed on something? So, I think that is also a gray area that
But if they don't comply,
if
you will move back to the local provider.
that's what I'm saying. Like it's a gray area, which will be me as a consumer. I would
Mm,
rather stay with a local company that has experienced all these kind of challenges and they know how to
mm.
maneuver. Because
Okay.
sometimes the government can surprise us, and then
Sure,
also I
sure.
was also
That's very
thinking that,
true.
yeah, and then I also looking at the Starlink kit, and I think
Mm.
even that's why maybe we have the platinum option on the Safaricom, the new speeds for the 1,000 Mbps. I
Yes.
think the Starlink kit is majorly, because when you look at even the cost, the
Mm,
mini is it the mini kit? It supports like
mm.
128 devices. I think for me, it's
Yes.
majorly going to benefit the businesses
Mm-hmm.
compared to like now for me, when I look at the package in Safaricom, like the bronze, the 15 Mbps is mostly for
Mm.
home usage, but now this
Yes, yes.
Starlink, I think their major focus is for businesses. So I will also look at it in the sense that it's also going to compete with the market share of like people like fiber and the like. So you're competing with
Mm.
people who are going to benefit in the business of the corporate area. So I think that is a very good
Yeah.
thing, and it will work even for them. Like it will work for them because now in workplace you require higher speed compared to when you're at home.
Mm.
Yeah.
That is true, but I also want to counter by saying that if you can offer 100 Mbps to 100 and something businesses, then definitely you can offer the same to 100 or 50 tenants. So the threat to Safaricom
Oh,
here is that while this
yeah.
entity can start by offering the same to, what is it called, to businesses, what is to stop
Yeah.
a landlord from
Yeah.
removing the fibers for Safaricom and Zuku and any other ISP, putting the Starlink, and then now they pay Starlink maybe that 6K or 6.5, and then they charge charge their tenants maybe a
Yeah.
subsidized package. So
Yeah.
the fact that even that mini kit can support 100 users is a big threat to Safaricom, because now any landlord who wants to be attractive, the new buildings that are coming up, you can be sure most of them are going to start having the Starlink connection, and then tenants will be paying maybe rent inclusive of the internet. So that's
Yeah.
the
It,
threat
it,
I
it, it
foresee
can
to
even be an
Safaricom.
option. It
Mm,
can even be an option in the on the tenants, but now
mm,
you'll compare when you compare the rates, you will
mm.
still prefer to pay the tenant compared to if you have to pay Safaricom because it will be
Yes, if
lower,
I'm
but the
paying
same
1,000,
benefit.
if I'm paying 2,000 to get 100 Mbps, and I have to
Yeah.
pay I think it's like 6K for Safaricom. Ah,
Yeah. Yeah.
definitely. And then also remember, Safaricom is this is a product that is consumer led. So you can only make money when people want to use it. Most people don't care who is offering the internet as long as internet works. So
Yeah.
there's no brand
True.
loyalty with this product, which makes it complicated. Now Safaricom had entered into partnerships with a lot of landlords, especially these new developers. But it was because people had it was an the integration to Safaricom was easy. They would come, they would put their let me call it their main router, where now the landlord would integrate it even during building, so that even when you're building a house, you don't have these cables getting out of the how they to make it neat. It was easy for you to even get the cable already pre-installed as you are doing construction. Now that was easy for them then, but now it will be a very hard case to tell a developer, you're building these 200 apartments, let us also put our cabling in, because they'll be like, but I'm not going to use you anyway. So it also affects their future contracts, especially with the people who matter, who are these landlords and developers. But yeah,
Yeah.
another interesting thing is, while we're talking about Safaricom and Starlink, competing against each other, Zuku seems to be folding up. Zuku is looking for a buyer, uh, and they are scouting buyers all over the world. I think they identified a buyer or a potential buyer in South Africa. So we may soon have a new owner of Zuku, and it
Wow.
was just an interesting story that I thought maybe it is worth sharing with our consumers. So in case um, you see any changes on the Zuku platform, I suspect it is why probably they don't seem to be too aggressive on this conversation, because I personally have been a user of or a customer of Zuku, and I'm yet to receive any communication about this, these data prices and whatnot. They just keep calling you
Yeah.
with promises. So I think that it's probably because of these current discussions they're having with different buyers, and maybe who knows, maybe even Safaricom might be the buyer. But yeah,
Yeah.
they seem to be looking for a way to exit the original shareholders.
And probably maybe they've also not found a way to solve their problems, because their
Mm,
problems are still existing since they began until to date. By
mm.
the time they want to, they are looking for a buyer. It's like they don't know what's the problem, or if they don't know
But
if they know the
mm,
problem, they don't know how to solve the problem.
I think Zuku just has one problem. They are like Airtel. Their services are not Safaricom services are not exceptionally better than Zuku. All of them offer internet. The problem with Zuku is the customer support, and more importantly, their infrastructure. Zuku seems
Yeah.
to have stopped their capital expenditure, especially in laying down the cables, and that has affected them, or that will continue to affect them. And I suspect maybe it's resources. To be fair, Safaricom has a serious war chest that they can deploy, and has allowed them to deploy a lot of cables all through even to my backyard in Kitale. So
Yeah.
I suspect maybe this new buyer might come with some serious financial muscle, but I think the original owners of Zuku are just like, it's time to cash out. This market is getting
Yeah.
more saturated now with Starlink. They have to develop a technology. They have been used to fiber. Now they have to deal with satellite. It's a
Yes.
tough business, but I'm sure there's still a lot of potential. Because to be fair, even America tech companies or internet providing companies are also struggling, because Starlink is also disrupting them in that end.